So I was first introduced to cigars in the fall of 1993. And I'm going to a Southern Baptist University, of all places, in the southwest of Missouri. And some buddies of mine, we were all going to preacher school, you know, and we got to talking about theology and we disagreed on some different things. And so one of the guys says, well, hey, let's go get cigars and we'll sit out on the back patio because I lived off campus. We'll sit on Chad's back patio and we'll have cigars and have these theological discussions, right? And so we go to like the local convenience store and we get Swisher Sweets. And if you like Swisher Sweets, here's what I would say. Good for you. All right. But that was my first introduction to cigars. We would smoke these little Swisher Sweets. That's all we could get anyway in this place where we lived. So that was my first introduction. But then about 15 years ago, I went to lunch with a friend of mine, and he said, would you ever be interested in having a cigar with me? And I said, yeah, I'd be open to that. You know, I smoked cigars in college, right? And he said, well, what did you smoke? And I said, Swisher Sweets. And he started laughing. He goes, dude, you didn't smoke cigars. I go, well, what was I smoking? He goes, you were smoking Swisher Sweets. One of the camera guys was asking me before we filmed this, like, what's the difference between a convenience store cigar and like a cigar from a cigar shop? And I said, dude, here's the difference. It's like the difference in a frozen TV dinner and a good filet mignon at a fancy restaurant. I go, that's the difference. Now, if you're in the mood for a TV dinner, like, more power to you, right? But if you want something really good, then you got to learn a little bit about it, and you got to go to a cigar shop, and you got to get yourself a good cigar. So 15 years ago, my buddy took me to a cigar shop in the Phoenix area, and he taught me cigars. He taught me how to light the cigar, taught me how to cut the cigar. And I remember about 3 cigars in, not at one time, this would be over 3 weeks, right? Because we were meeting on Friday afternoon. I would buy the lunch and he would buy the cigar, and he's teaching me. About 3 weeks in, we had lunch, but all I had was like a salad and water. And we go to smoke a cigar, and I don't remember what cigar it was, but I got about right here. I got about halfway, and all of a sudden I just felt sick. And he looked at me. And apparently you could see it. My guess is I was turning a shade of green. And he was like, dude, are you all right? And I was like, no. And I kind of got this little sweat. And he was like, just put it out. Just put it out. Sometimes when you smoke a cigar, if you haven't eaten, if you're not smoking it on a full stomach, you might feel a little bit that way. But don't let that put you off. So I've been smoking cigars for about 15 years. Over the years, I've learned it really is not about the cigar; it's about the friendships, and it's about relaxing and hanging out. It is something you learn. It is something that you get better at over time. But cigar is a great way to have good conversations and to make good friends.